So this half term in RE, we're going to be looking at a new religion, and that is Judaism. Now this week, we're going to be thinking about the Holy Book. So I'd just like you to take some time just to think about what other holy books can you think of? So hopefully you thought of the Bible from the Christian religion, and maybe you can remember the Granth Sahib that we looked at in Sikhism last half term. So we're going to be looking at the Jews' holy book today, and that is called the Torah. Now there's a picture on your screen now, and it's like a really long scroll, and we're going to be looking at that today. So the Torah is the most holy Jewish book. So the Jews have more than one holy book, but we're just going to look at the Torah today. And they believe that in the Torah, Moses, who was a really important person in the Jews' religion, wrote down all of the teachings from God, and that was written in the first Torah. Now, the Jewish people believe that when they read and listen to the teachings in the Torah, it helps them to keep their two-way promise with God, and that helps them to become good Jews. Now you can see on the picture, there's a picture of a Torah there, and it's got the handles to be able to scroll it out so they can look at the different parts of the Torah. Now, reading the teachings from within the Torah is a really important part of the Jewish worship. Now I'd like to show you a little clip about Jewish worship, and now this follows some children during their worship, and they talk about what happens during a Jewish worship. So let me just get this up for you. So the Jewish people, they worship in the synagogue, which is their holy place, like the church for Christians, and they also do a lot of worshipping at home. So you can see here that the Torah scrolls are kept really secure and really neatly behind this beautiful curtain in the synagogue. Can you see that the Torah is covered up? I hope you noticed there that the rabbi was reading from right to left, which is the opposite way to what we usually read. Brilliant. So I hope you liked that video, and I hope that you were able to notice how much the Torah scroll is protected and how important it is to the Jews. So the Torah is stored inside an ark, which is kept inside the synagogue. So in that synagogue, there was a really special curtain that the Torahs were kept behind. So nobody is allowed to touch the paper, which is called the cloth, with their hands. This is because it is so delicate. And the Torahs are kept for quite a long time, so they're quite old. Now, the Jewish people have to use a pointer called a yad when they're reading from it, and I hope you noticed the rabbi using the yad when he was reading the teachings during the service. Now, the Torah is written in Hebrew. Now, Hebrew is the main language of the Jewish religion, and it is also handwritten. So it's not typed on a computer like a lot of the books that we look at, but actually it's written by hand. Now, they said it was the length of a football pitch when it was rolled out. It must take them a really long time to write one of these, so you have to be very, very careful with it. When the Jewish people read from the Torah, they read it from right to left. So like I said, that's the opposite to the way we read. So in Hebrew, we read from right to left instead of left to right. If the Torah, and we've already said that if it was rolled out, it would be the size of a football pitch. So it is a very long book with lots of teachings from God inside it. So here I've got some of the symbols from the Hebrew religion. Okay, so these are the different symbols that would be written inside the Torah for the rabbi to read. So we've got 2 tasks for you to do today. So your first task is to create your own Torah scroll. This could just be one piece of paper that you roll up into each other, and then you could put some sticks or even just use a spoon either side to roll it out. The main thing I would like you to do is use these symbols here. These symbols here are the Hebrew word for Torah. So it would be really great if you could have a go at writing this on your scroll. Now, if you'd like to be really clever, you could use the video of the worship, the Jewish worship, and you could draw pictures on your scroll or write about the Jewish worship on your scroll so that when you roll it out, somebody can read all about that. Now, that's task 1. If you need help on how to make a scroll, there is some information on the blog to help you with that. Now, task 2. I would like you to think about everything you've learned about the Torah and write down some instructions for somebody who's never learned about the Jewish religion before, and if they're going to the synagogue, how they need to respect and handle the Torah. So remind them that the Torah is kept in the ark and that it has got its own gown. It's got that velvet cloth that covers it, and it has gold and silver decoration to show how special it is. Talk about how that you're not allowed to touch the paper with your hands, that you need to use the yad to point to the different words. Think about how the Jewish people go to the synagogue to use the Torah. And maybe you could talk about how old and how long the Torahs are, and that it is handwritten. So we have to be really careful with it. Now, I really look forward to seeing the work you've been doing on the Torah today, and it would be great if you could send me or Mrs. Claxton your pictures so that we can put them on the website. All right, I hope you enjoy the lesson, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.